What is up, podcast, and welcome to the Raised Plays Podcast Network. Another amazing Saturday morning with you guys every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. Tacos en la Mañana is what we call it sometimes. Tacos en la Mañana show, because that's how we do it. Crazy every Saturday morning. Welcome to the Twitch Network. Holy moly. I was fully expecting this morning to talk about the 100 follower challenge. Trying to get 100 followers is what we've been trying to do, but you guys were hard at work already all morning, all week long, getting followers, getting your Theas involved, getting your Theos involved, and we already have 99 followers. So we're going to get 100 in like 10 minutes here. It's going to happen. And by the way, what does that mean? You guys know what that means. 100 followers challenge is we're going to go to Vegas and do a live IRL. Yes, we're going to be there in Vegas. So Eric and Melissa, get the pillows ready, get the sheets all bundled up. You could throw us on the grass if you want to, but either way, it sounds like we're coming to Vegas, baby. Woo! And guess what? I do believe it is going to be. We were talking at first about it being either Ramon or me, or it was going to be Mel and me. But I think I just got the confirmation this morning. It is, ladies and gentlemen, going to be me and Ramonski out in Vegas. Holy moly! A full IRL live stream at all the favorite restaurants in Las Vegas, all the different spots in Vegas. We've got a couple different spots that we've mapped out so far, but we've got to figure out how to get to all those different spots, how close they are, where exactly they are. Some of them are on the outskirts of Vegas because they're like special spots that some of our friends that are influencers have been to. Some of them are on the strip as well, and then some of them are local things that we know about because of Eric and Melissa as well, living there. And of course, visiting with Melissa and Eric is going to be the killer part as well. It's going to be a blast out there in Vegas. And then eventually we will have a 200 follower challenge. I'm not going to tell you what that 200 follower challenge is yet, but there will be ready. H-Town Love. What's up, H-Town Love? Good morning. H-Town Love 33 in the house. There will be a 200 follower challenge. It's going to be out of control. So be ready for that. Also be ready for the video that's coming out. Ramon redeeming teaspoon already? You redeem it now, Ramon? Holy crap. Oh my God. Okay, so now I got to go to the refrigerator and get some chili. Thanks, Ramon. So Ramon just redeemed the 1 teaspoon of hot chili in my mouth. I was like, maybe next show or maybe like when I'm at a restaurant, but no, Ramon redeemed it right now. So give me a second. I'm going to go get the chili and the teaspoon. I'm going to do the hot teaspoon chili in my mouth. Ramon, I thank you. Hold on one second. My God, when I did it, I didn't know when I was thinking teaspoon, I'm an idiot. I cook all the time. When I was thinking teaspoon, I'm thinking like a teaspoon's like a little bit. This thing's freaking huge. Look at this. This is the full actual teaspoon. I'm going legit with the Ramon. You redeemed it. I'm going to do it the right way. This is an actual legit metric teaspoon. Actually, this is a tablespoon. That's why it's so big. I'll be right back. That's more like it. A teaspoon. Jesus, I thought I was going to have to eat that whole thing. Holy moly. It's too early. It's too early. You know what I'm having for breakfast? Freaking oatmeal. I'm trying to be healthy. I'm trying to get ready for I'm trying to get ready for Vegas. I'm trying to be in training. I'm trying to train myself, get ready for Vegas. Ramon redeems the freaking chili challenge. Oh, man. It's too early. And the only chili I have in the house, because I haven't made any salsa yet, Tapatio, the old true Tapatio. Here we go. Oh my gosh. What's up, Serena the Pink? What's up? What's up? Good morning. Good morning. A full-on teaspoon of Tapatio. This is going to go bad. Either it's going to be bad now or bad later. There it is. Redeem. Ramon, redeem this. Please don't redeem this all day long, guys. We've got a special guest coming on the show. We've got to get to the guests. You guys are redeeming chili challenges already. Here we go. Here we go. Oh. Yeah. It's like it tastes like that salty, wonderful, lemony ceviche type taste, but it's got the burn. And burn is fine. I'm good with hot spice stuff, but damn, in the morning, Ramon, 9 a.m. and you're hitting me with the hot spice. Holy moly. That is going to cleanse my stomach. H-Town Love. Oh my gosh, that is definitely going. This might be the cleansing that I need. H-Town Love. You actually, Ramon might be helping me, getting me ready for the Vegas trip. Holy moly! I'm gonna sauce it down with some oatmeal. Oh my god! I'm trying to train. I'm training for Vegas, baby. Yes, 99 followers. If you haven't heard, 99 followers on the channel. We're gonna hit 100 in like 10 minutes. I guarantee it. We're just waiting for Lupe to get on. Lupe's trying to figure out how to use the browser. She doesn't know how to use the phone, so she can use the browser. We'll get 100 followers. We're going to get 100 followers. I guarantee it by the end of the show. 707 Nels, what's up? What's up? Yes, Ray on the tablet, MJ on the phone. Yeah, MJ's Melissa and Eric are on live right now as well. Don't forget to follow The Vibe with MJ and Eric on Twitch as well. So you can have us both. You can have them on the tablet. You can have me on the phone and watch us both. Salute. Holy moly. Thank you for that. Boom. Hit those emojis. You guys know we got the emojis. Hit those emojis. Start the train. Start the train. Holy moly. Good morning. Good morning. Again. Oh my gosh. In just a few minutes here, we'll have a very special guest. You guys are doing an amazing job. Hey, what's up, Caroline DePolo? How you doing? How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. H-Town, love hitting those emojis, hyping it up this morning with the emojis. Oh yes, tacos de la mañana. Let me get my sound effects. I haven't had my sound effects in a while. Let me see sound effects. Do I still have my sound effects here? Let me see. Here's my sound effects. Tacos de la mañana. Let me turn it up. There it is. Tacos de la mañana. 200 bits from 70 Nels. What's up, 707 Nels? Thank you so much. 200 bits from 770 Nels. 707 Nels. 200 bits, my girl. Thank you so much. That's a way to wake me up in the morning. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Fantastic. Holy moly. Ramon works with the 100 bits. Yes, Ramon. Thank you so much, my friend. Tacos de la mañana. Oh, we're hyping it up this morning. Gosh, we are awake, wide awake. Holy moly, holy moly. We're excited because we are about to hit 100 followers. This show, we're going to do it. And we already know what we're going to do. We're going to go to Vegas. We're going to meet up with Melissa and Eric. It's going to be a fantastic time. Holy moly. And then there will be the 200 follower challenge. What I have not told you, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to release that yet because you guys are too good to us. You guys are crazy. All your community is just big. Look at that. 200 bits. H-Town Love. H-Town Love with the 200 bits. Oh my gosh. How was that chili challenge? Woo, that chili challenge was fire. It's still like in my like upper gum area. It's still like up in here. Like it's not going away. It's all up in here. Thank you, Ramon, for that. Holy moly, look at all those bits. H-Town Love. H-Town Love going crazy. I don't even know how many that is. It's like 1,000. I don't know what that is. Like 50? Is that what that is? 50 snowballs? 50 snowmen with the carrot nose? Oh my gosh. Out of control. Out of control. Hype Train is up. Hype Train is up 34%. Holy moly, it's out of control this morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you haven't already figured it out, this is the Tacos de la Mañana show. countdown to Vegas. We're going to Vegas. Me and Ramonski joining Vegas. Me and Ramonski in Vegas. Holy moly. Vegas, are you ready for us? Vegas, are you ready for this? Is this something you can handle? These two gentlemen, you've seen the New Year's Eve special. You were with us for the 4-hour stream. Can you handle 8 hours of us? At least 8 hours of us in Vegas, Nevada. You might want to create a new rule, a new law to ban us from Vegas because it's going to be out of control. H-Town Love 33. Oh man, I went to get a bagel. All right, Serena the Pink's got her bagel. She's ready. She got the bagel. Make sure you get your Red Bull or coffee because we're hyping it up. We're hyping it up. Oh my gosh. Don't forget a 200 follower challenge coming soon. Don't forget the music video is coming as well. We're working on that in the background. We're doing costumes. We're doing all kinds of digital stuff. The music video is coming out very soon. Don't forget that's coming out very soon. Serena the Pink. Oh, yes, 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 yes. And next Saturday, don't forget to join us again at the 9 o'clock semi. You know, I'm always late, but I'm going to try, believe it or not, I don't know how I'm going to do this because I got the kids next week. I'm going to try to get into Corona. I'm going to try to go. We're going to go hang out with Miss Corona next Saturday. So we're going to do a live IRL in Corona. It's going to be crazy. Cowboy Burgers is we're going to try to hit. We're going to try to do that next Saturday. So not promising you, but promising you. And that's the plan next Saturday in Corona at the Cowboy Burgers. Remote work. Someone redeemed the challenge. What? Yeah, Ramon Works did it not again. 3.4. Oh my gosh, don't do it. Don't do it. Ramon redeemed the challenge, and I took a teaspoon of this, Serena. You missed it. I took the good old Tapatio. That's all I have. When I came up with that challenge, I figured I'd be at a restaurant somewhere or something like that, and they'd have some. I'm sure that's going to happen one of these days where I'm at a restaurant and all they have in sight, because it says like the hottest chili, right? So it's going to be like habanero or something like that. It's going to freaking burn me up. I don't know about that challenge. Holy moly, that challenge is going to kill me. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I want to talk about last night. Last night was incredible. We've been celebrating Mel's birthday all week long. You guys were with me last weekend doing the pretzel dips and all kinds of stuff. We've been doing a lot of stuff for the shower for my wife's sister, and the pretzels came out incredible. We're still chomping on them today or yesterday. And it was also my goddaughter's birthday yesterday as well, Amanda. And we took her to my favorite place in the world, our favorite place. It's a family place. It's a medieval tradition. If you want to read the story, I put a blog out last night already. Yes, I went there yesterday and I put a blog out, raiseflaves.com. There's already a blog about medieval times experience. It was incredible. The food is always amazing. The food is always amazing. If I didn't say it already, the food is always amazing. The pollo, the chicken, is fabulous. We've been going there for over 10 years. We've been going there since Mel's, since before I knew Mel. She's gone, I've gone. We got together even before we were married. We'd go, and almost every other birthday we go to Medieval Times. Ramon's been with us, and we take a big family photo. It's crazy. We look at our medieval time photo more than we look at our wedding photos. That's how important Medieval Times is to us. We love medieval times. Serena the Pink, you love that place? I thought there was only like 2 in the world, but I figure out my wife tells me there's like 5 or 6 all over the country. It's crazy. I had fun time when I was in middle school. My night was the red and black. So last night mine was the Red Knight. From the deepest, darkest ports of Endor, the Red Knight. And he was good at first, but he turns out to be a bad guy. So the whole crazy show, if you've ever not been to Medieval Times, it's a place you must go. It's a place you must see for yourselves, me ladies and lads. You must see that because, oh, what a great show it is. It's sword fighting, it's jousting, it's everything you know about medieval. It's knights, it's slamming your cups together and cheers and celebration and competition and the whole aura of the queen and the king and the council, and everybody's involved, and you can yell and you can be a child like I am every day. You can be a child in that place. It's the only place where I can feel free. It's a great place. I went to one in Jersey when I used to live there. The knight was going to throw me the rose, but my teacher jumped in front of me. And I was so mad. The night looked at Orlando. The night looked like oh my gosh. Oh, that's so sad, Serini. The night looked like Orlando Bloom. He was going to throw the rose to Serini, but the teacher freaking intercepts on the 50-yard line and breaks Serini's. That's what I noticed that was great about the rose toss is they would I liked it because they would throw it to the little girls. Like that's got to be the greatest thing when you're a little girl and a flower comes to you and from a night and then you just see their eyes light up. It's amazing. So that was cool. But Serini got her heart broken because her teacher freaking intercepted. Like I guess he also played college football and he took that flower right off of her, broke the dreams. And here we go. Serini the Peak is now on Twitch with Ray. That's what happens. Holy moly. He looked at me, dude. He pointed and made eye contact. He looked at me, dude. He made eye contact. Orlando Bloom. Oh my God. That's got to be a damn. Holy moly. What a oh man. Sorry about that. Serena the Pink got the flower intercepted by the teacher. Holy moly. Crazy. But the food was amazing. Shout out to Carlos, our server. I don't know how my wife does it. I don't know if she pulled the Raised Flaves card or what. We had front row seats, but not just front row seats, like where the horses come out on the side, like we're right next to the horses where they were coming out, where they throw the spear into the tunnel. We're right there. We were right there in front row right there. And so the horses are coming out. The queen was right above us. I did a reel on Instagram. Check that out. It's crazy. But a great time to be had, as always, at Medieval Times. Dinner and tenements. Holy moly. Oh, did you say yeah, I think she pulled the Raised Flaves card or something. I don't know if there is that card yet, but maybe the card probably doesn't look like this. It probably looks like this when you pull the Raised. It's like this small. It's right now the card's like this small, but it's going to be big. It's going to be huge. One day you're going to be able to pull the Raised Flaves card like that. Just go Raised Flaves is here. Boom. It's going to be awesome. Yes. Fantastic. Holy moly. So I want to bring in my guest. Woo. Crazy. She's going to be like, what the heck kind of show did I get into? Holy moly. Man, I want to bring in my special guest. This guest is an author of a book that I have in my hand, ladies and gentlemen. And for you enthusiasts, for you nail enthusiasts, for you nail professionals, you're going to love this show because she was and is in the beauty industry. And she's an amazing, she was and still is an amazing nail artist. But she wrote this book called Limitless: Small Moves to Your Greatest Life After a Paralyzing Stroke. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this amazing young lady at 34 had a stroke. So this is going to be a crazy tearjerker for you guys. Believe me, when I was reading the book, eyes were welling up. So be ready for this. I'm gonna prepare you for this because it's a tearjerker story, but it's a heroic story. She's my hero. It's a story of just getting through amazing challenges in life, and she's going to show us how to do that through her story. So it's going to be awesome. But yeah, so let's see here. Yeah, so. And by the way, Brisa used to teach for us. So for those of you that are nail techs or buying Young Nails products, Brisa worked for us. She was a top mentor of Young Nails Incorporated. She was the cream of the crop. She was flying all over the country for us. She was one of the originals. There wasn't that many back in the day. Back in the day, there wasn't like 70 or 50 like there was before COVID. There was only like 5 of them. There was like the girl from Hawaii, there was Brisa, and the girl from Arizona. There wasn't a lot of them. So she flew all over the place for us, for Young Nails Incorporated. And it was her job to basically travel around the country, promote the product, get the line out there. There wasn't Instagram back in those days. There may have been YouTube, but we didn't even know how to use that back in those days. All we knew is we'd get to you, we'd smile, we'd show you the product. We had, great educators, and that's how we got the product out there. But in 2013, something tragic happened. And as you know from the book, that was the stroke. And that's what we're going to talk about with Brisa. And here to tell you the rest of the story is my friend. Please welcome Miss Brisa Alfaro. What's up, Brisa? Let me unmute you real quick.
Got
Oh, go ahead. There you are. There, perfect.
Hi, everybody.
What's up?
Thank you for having me, Ray.
Absolutely, absolutely. Say hi to my friends. H-Town Love, Serena the Pink, everybody in the stream. Always here every Saturday morning, 707 Nails as well. Everybody's super excited to meet this girl right here, this superstar, Brisa Alfaro. Just got back from Austin, Texas, shooting what I can't even tell you, but she was shooting. So I don't think I can tell anybody, but she was shooting something big. She does videos, she does speaking. So she's an amazing person. We're going to talk about this. There it is. Thanks, Maud. Limitless, the book on Amazon right now. You can get that on Amazon. Small Moves to Your Greatest Life After a Paralyzing Stroke, and it is a good read. We're going to talk about that book in just a second here. But I was just telling the audience, Brisa, that you used to be an educator for Young Nails Incorporated. You were actually one of the originals back in the day, right?
Yeah. There was only a few. I think Melissa was before me, but then I was the next group that went on. It was amazing. It wasn't a lot of us. We got you guys one-on-one, and we got to learn with you guys and grow with you guys, and it's been amazing. And just to see the company now, it's incredible.
It's crazy. There's like stages, right? There's like the early stages, like Heidi and Christina and all those girls like that, and then Melissa, and then you guys came in. There's like all these stages of different groups of cool girls.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think I came in after Heidi and Melissa. That's when
you
came in.
That's when you came in.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And who is she talking about when she says Melissa? That's right. The Vibe with Melissa and MJ, Melissa and Eric, the Vibe with Melissa and Eric on Twitch as well. Make sure you follow them as well. So that's who she's talking about. She knows Melissa. She's part of the fam, girls and gentlemen, gents and girls, everybody who's in the stream. Now, part of your job was to travel all over the place, and we used to use you a lot. I think at one point we purchased or had a part in the distribution there in New York with Tommy and Sue. So you did a lot of work out there in New York as well, huh?
I did. I was going out to New York to work out there often. You guys were sending me out there to work, and I just fell in love with the city. And I said, what if I moved to New York? Mind you, I don't know anybody other than my Young Nails people, and I didn't have any family or friends or anything, but I thought, what if I moved to New York from California?
Dude, that's the part I forgot about that until I read the book. Yeah. I was like, dude, she wasn't just you moved to New York for a while.
I moved to New York, and I was working full, as much as I could with your distribution out there and with Tommy and Sue. And I just fell in love with the city. I lived out there, and what was supposed to be for a couple years, I was out there for 6 years.
6 years. Holy moly. That's crazy. And because your parents, the whole family is from high desert area, Apple Valley here in California. Were you born and raised out here? You guys were always out here, right?
No, I was born in San Bernardino.
San Bernardino County, and then they were up in Apple Valley. Your parents have a restaurant up there as well. The town knows the restaurant very well. Yeah, Apple Valley is a small community, right? It's not like a huge.
No, yeah. It's a small town outside of LA. It's our business has created a nice name for itself. My family owns a restaurant, and they've been there for a long time, so they've created a good name. So my family was pretty shocked why I would leave to go to all 3,000 miles away. Like, why would you do that? And I'm kind of like that in my life. I just make a decision, and then I go for it, and I do it. So
what do you remember back then? What was it that sparked that idea to go into New York?
Yeah.
Besides that, we were sending you there almost every weekend, but.
Well, after I would, teach classes and stuff and shows, beauty shows and stuff that you guys would send me to, we barely had, all the time we had was for working. And then at night we were supposed to be resting, but a couple of the other girls, I don't know if you remember Holly.
But, yeah, Holly. Holly
Yeah,
Watts, Holly Johnson.
yeah. So we would say, we're in New York. We're not gonna just go to our rooms and go to bed. Like, we'll sleep, you know, later in life. Right now,
When we were young, right? There was no, we would do shows, not sleep all night, and then go right to the show.
yeah. So we did that, and we just explored New York City, and I just was falling in love with the city so much, and I loved the hustle, and I loved, like, just all of it.
The hustle and bustle of the
Yeah.
city.
So I said, I told her, I'm like, I think I could live here. She's like, yeah,
Wow.
me too. And I'm like, I just kept repeating that over and over in my mind. Like, I think I can live here. I think I want to live here. I think I'm going to live here. And then when
Damn.
I came home, I was working on my client doing nails all day long. And then at the end, I was closing up my salon. I was doing my computer work, inputting everything. And then I just went, at that time it was Craigslist. I just went on Craigslist and was looking at apartments in Manhattan, in New York, and
Wow.
I looked up plane tickets, and then I decided I was going to do it. That night, I bought a one-way ticket to New York
What?
City.
To leave the next day?
One way. No, not the next day. I planned it for like about a month away.
Oh, wow.
And
But you just bought it.
I just bought it, and I had no idea where I was going to live. I had no idea what I was going to do. Like, I didn't know. All I knew was I had a young nail, like, people that I could work with.
Yeah.
But I mean, that alone.
You knew two people out there. You knew Tommy and Sue. That's it.
That's it. So I knew I had to figure it out if I was going to buy a ticket. So I just made the decision that I was going to move out there, and then I figured it out when I going out. And I struggled while I was out there. A few times I could remember I was thinking, I'm not going to make it. I got to go back home. And I'm going to have to go back home with my tail between my legs. I don't want to do that. And I just was like, no, I'm going to do it. I don't care if I have to sleep on the subway.
Yeah. Well, many people have. If you ever lived in New York or you've checked the prices in New York, it's not an easy place to survive. It's probably one of the hardest places to survive in the country when it comes to pricing, when it comes to rent, you're not going to get a mortgage. You're not going to buy anything unless you're like an owner of a business or something. You're renting, and the food, just to go to TGI Fridays is like $45 a plate. That's a TGI Fridays. It's crazy.
If you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere.
That's it. That's the song. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. There's a lot of challenges in life. There's a lot of challenges in what you did going to New York. There's a lot of challenges in being an educator for Young Nails or any other company. You've been involved with Paul Mitchell as well, hair and stuff like that. You own your own salon as well. You've traveled. You've had so many. Is that like a theme? Like when you face challenges like that, like, because you face many, and we're going to get to some of them, just some of them, but you face many. Is that a theme? Like it seems to me, like, just from knowing you over the years, it's like you set your mind to something. Like, who buys a ticket and just says, one way I'm going to go, and not have planned anything else, just bought the ticket and just go? Is that what is that? Is that kind of a theme in your life?
Yeah, it's the power of belief.
Power of belief.
The power of belief. Do you believe you can do it? Do you believe, like, when you say, I want to do this, well, do you really believe you can do it? Because I mean, everybody has self-doubt. I mean, even when I was approached to work for Young Nails, my distributor, I wasn't even thinking about becoming an educator. My distributor saw my work when she was taking my order of, I was ordering more nail stuff, and she was looking at my work, and she says, you need to work for Young Nails.
Was that Lynn?
Lynn, yeah.
Oh my God, dude, I remember Lynn. Oh, she was so nice.
And she was like, you need to work for Young Nails. I'm like, Young Nails? She says, you need to work for them. I'm like, I don't even have their product. How would I work for them? I don't know. And she's like, well, you need to start using their product so you could see the difference. And also, you just need to have faith and just go. And wow. not about it. I was like, I'm not an educator. I don't, and she's the one that signed me up. She was the one, you're going. So I went, and I'm in this room full of women that are auditioning basically to become a young nail expert and educator. And I'm thinking, I am way over my head. These women, they're one by one, they're getting up and giving examples of why they should be working for Young Nails, and they're showing, their expertise. And I feel like just this small. I'm like, they're not going to pick me. Why would they do that? And there was a competition where you have to just create. They give you a couple of glitters and acrylic and nail, like you just have to create this with what we give you, and let's see what you create. And whoever wins will win all of this Young Nail product. And I'm like,
holy moly,
because I don't have Young Nail products, so I need to win that. So that's when I really started to realize the power of my belief, because I started believing that could be me. I started envisioning him, like Greg, saying my name, the one that won this challenge. I started envisioning it. I started hearing it, like just before I even was doing it. And then while I was doing it, all I was thinking about was my end result, that I'm going to win. I'm going to win. And at the end, and I'm thinking, I don't even know. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know my work. I don't know how to work with this product, but whatever. At the end, he rounds up all the nails and he's looking at all of them. And out of all of them, he picked mine.
No way.
He picked mine. And I want all that product. And now I was able to practice with Young Nail product, because
you didn't have it before. So you came to try out for Young Nails and you never had to try it before. Good thing you didn't tell us that, because I think that's one of the prerequisites or something like that.
I'm sure it was, but also I was coached a little to not by my distributor. She was the one. She was like, "Don't tell them that you don't use the product." And I'm like,
"Yeah,
well, I don't know the product. I would use it if I knew it, but."
Dang. Yeah. Holy moly. What's up, Chops? If you're just joining us, we are with Brisa Alfaro, past senior educator for Young Nails Incorporated, also involved with Paul Mitchell back in the day, a 2-salon owner as well, and survivor of some crazy stuff. And we're just getting into how she handles the challenges of life. I love what you said, Brisa, about envisioning that already happening. You've said that people that have helped me in the past have said that too, like just envision yourself already doing it. And then I think that's super important, because what we tend to do as humans, or at least what I tend to do, and you can put in the chat if you do that as well, I'll say how I can't do something. I'll say, well, I can't because, like you mentioned before, like, well, I can't be an educator for them. I don't have the product, or I don't even, I'm not as good as these girls. Especially, and just to give you guys an idea of how this goes down, she mentioned it, but I don't think she mentioned it in detail. When you're around 40 girls at the Costa Mesa Hotel down in freaking Orange County, and they're 40 of the top girls from all over the country, not just California, 40 girls in the same room that think they got the stuff, that they've been calling Ray every single week and saying that they're the best educator they can educate, and they know our product, and they can present well, and they can do this, but they may not know this part, they may not know that. Everybody's in the room together competing for the 5 or so positions that we have at that year, and you have to present well. You have to know the product. I don't know how she got past. You have to know the way we talk about the product, the in details about the product. You have to be able to say again.
I paid attention. All the girls that were going up before me, because they had to like label the product and say what they were for, what they were good at. I maybe didn't remember the name of the product, but I remember what they said that it did. So I was very specific on selling the product, basically selling the end result. So I don't need to know. Your customers don't need to know the process. They want the end result. So I just kept hearing the end result of what the product did. And when it was my time to present, I just remember sharing what the end result was, what the end result,
Smart.
what the client is going to want to hear. And
Yeah.
that's what I just kept doing.
That's it. That's how I started, right? I didn't do nails. I didn't go to nail school. I didn't know anything about nails. I just heard what Greg said, not just heard what he said, how he says it, heard how Young says it, heard how Habib says it,
Right.
put them all together, and I'm the best salesman in the world.
go.
Just kidding.
There you go.
There you go. But that's smart. You picked up on it. A lot of people don't pick up on that. Is like so it's not just you have to have the skills, of course, but you have to sell the brand, especially in those days. There wasn't Instagram. Right now, everything is about, and it's always been about educating. But in those days, you only had 3 days at a trade show, Chicago or Vegas or Florida, or even 2 days at New York if they had that show. Right. You only had those 2 or 3 days to impress the crowd. Right. You really had to know your stuff at that time, back in the day.
Yeah.
Crazy. MJ says hi, by the way. MJ is shouting messages over the chat, and she says sends her love, Brisa. That's MJ, awesome. Melissa, yeah.
Oh, hi, Melissa. Mwah.
Yeah, so Melissa has a show called The Vibe with MJ and Eric, and it's on right now at the same time on Saturdays at 9 a.m. on Twitch. So you guys can follow that, and make sure you follow Brisa as well. Cool. So she's on right now. She sends her love. That's awesome. Thank you, H-Town Love. That's crazy. So that's great. So I love it. I love how you get through challenges, and it makes total sense. And so I want to get into one of the biggest challenges of your life, and that is what happened in 2013. You were going to New York because obviously traveling for family here in California. For some reason, there was a show, I think, in New York, if I remember back in the day, and you were going to New York. And then walk us through what happened exactly.
Yeah, so I was now I had changed from living in New York. Now I moved back to California. And then I would travel back to New York often. So I would travel back whenever you guys would call me back to do a show or something. So I was living in Santa Monica, and I was traveling to New York for a show. And that's, the universe kind of gives you whether you like it or not. And that's kind of what happened to me. I had to slow down. I was kind of saying yes to everything. I was spreading myself very, very thin, and I wasn't really.
Yeah, you were doing a lot of educating. You had 2 salons at the time, I think.
And I was a manager, and I was just all these things. Crazy. So restaurant industry, just a lot of things. So I realized that I was spreading myself way too thin, but I was still not in the position to say no to my dreams or anything like that, because nails was my dream. Working in the beauty industry, that was my dream. I did hair, makeup, nails. I worked New York Fashion Week. I did all these things. Like, I loved my industry, and I never thought that could ever be taken away from me in the blink of an eye. I never thought that. And one day while I was in New York City for a nail show, I ended up inside of a New York City hospital. And this was the day before a show. And I went into the hospital for symptom that was unrelated to my stroke, but I went in because I was supposed to be on stage the next day presenting, so I was like.
And by the way, I think you took a cab there, right? Is that true?
I did. I took a cab.
And you weren't feeling well at that time at all.
No, but I didn't think it was that big of a deal, because I'm kind of the type of person that is like, whatever, get over it and get to work. Like, I don't have time to, So I went to the hospital, and it was, they had seen me, and I was like filling out paperwork and letting them, filling out my insurance and all that stuff. And I called my mom and I said, "Hey Mom, I'm in the hospital, but they're just checking me out, and I'll call you when I get out." And she said, "Okay." it's no big deal, right? So I was like, I'll call you when I get out. Well, I never called her back because while I
Dang.
was in the hospital, I had a stroke.
Dang. At
And
this time, you're 34 years old.
32.
32. And I didn't know, like, I know around my age, hopefully, God willing, that doesn't happen. But like, I hear about people in their 40s, I hear about 50s, 60s. 32 is very young to have a stroke. And that's crazy.
Yeah. So the type of stroke that I had was a very rare stroke, also. So they didn't know how to diagnose it. I was
Whoa.
very, very lucky. I was blessed that I was in New York City when it happened, because I ended up in a stroke hospital, a stroke
Whoa.
like learning hospital. So the amount of like the care that I got was second to none. Like I was, everything happened exactly the way it was supposed to.
Wow.
So,
Now this stroke, when it happened, it took you into a kind of I was calling it a coma, but it's not a coma. It's a locked in. Is that what they call it?
yeah, so similar to a coma, but so most people that have strokes, it affects a certain side of their body, the left or the right, and then you can't move that side until you get therapy, and then you can get better. But mine happened in the middle, and it affected both sides. So both sides were out, just out.
What?
And so that's called locked-in syndrome.
Locked in syndrome.
I was awake and aware of everything around me.
That's how you found out you had a stroke. In the book, you say that you found out, like, you can't say anything. You're locked in. You said in the book that you're screaming. It's like a bad dream, like you're screaming, but it's not a dream. In the book, you said that. Yeah, nobody can hear you, but you're hearing them say, and this is how you found out. Is it true that this is how you found out that you had a stroke, is by hearing them when you were in locked-in syndrome?
Right. Because I had to realize, like, why no one's responding to me, because I'm answering their questions, but nobody is talking to me. All the doctors are talking amongst each other, but nobody was talking to me. So I was like trying to explain, like trying to say things, and nobody was listening. So the more and more that was going on, the more I realized, oh, they can't hear me. Oh, I'm not talking. And so all the thoughts, everything was going on. It was all in my mind. So I thought that I was fine.
You thought you were talking. But you're not talking.
Right.
God, that's crazy. So that must be a nightmare.
I was essentially locked in my own body. So I had to figure out a way to show my family a sign that I was still in my body. So one by one, my family started coming to the hospital. According to the doctors, they were having the family come to say goodbye to me, because they said I had a less than 1% chance of recovery. And if I did recover anything, if I were to stay alive, I would be in this vegetative state for the rest of my life. And that's
You said less than 1% chance?
Yeah.
Less than 1% chance. And I remember back then you telling me a story that you were hearing this, and we know Brisa's character. She's like, hell no. Yeah. You're like, when you heard that you weren't going to move again, you weren't going to talk again.
It pissed me off, because I mean, if you know the story of my whole life, like I've always been the creator of my own life. So now I'm listening to people basically tell me what my life is going to look like from here on out. I wasn't okay with that. And even though there was a less than 1% chance, even though there were less than 5 cases per year worldwide, and even less than that survived.
Less than 5 cases a year?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. 5 cases a year. That's crazy.
So,
wow. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I didn't want to have other people determine my fate. I felt like I had to do something about it. And I was going to stop at nothing. Just like when I decided to move to New York, just like when I decided to win that nail competition, just like I've done anything in life. I'm like, you just have to believe. You have to believe you will be okay. You have to believe it. Like you're going to be fine. And that's what I just kept doing in my mind over and over. I was rehearsing my life like the way I wanted it to look like, not the way it was now, the way I wanted it to look like. So all I
Boom.
was doing was thinking about my recovery of what I'm going to do after my recovery, and not just um like thinking like, wouldn't it be nice to for me to recover? I was thinking of like, what will it feel like? What will it look like? What will I do? What will I say? How will I live? Like, I was thinking of all those things and I was embodying it. So now I wasn't only like, I was embodying my healing. So I wasn't just thinking about healing, hoping that I heal. I was embodying it. I was becoming it. So
That's
just like
huge.
I did before, I was like, this is no different. I'm going to have to do that. And and that came out through a very small micro move that most people would just overlook. A lot of people, they think that their progress has to be big progress. A lot of people think that you got to climb that big mountain. Once you're on top, you've made it. But it's
Mm,
not about that. It's about the journey to get there.
right.
How are you going to get there? So my my I focused on my progress. I focused on showing my family a sign that I was in my body. My doctors a sign that I was in my body, because over and over again the doctors kept coming to my mom and telling her that there was no hope. But then my mom noticed I flickered my pinky.
Whoa. You were
And
able to flick your pinky.
she was so excited about that. She was like, "Are you are you or did you just move your pinky?" And I
That's
flicked my
crazy.
pinky again. And she was so excited. She ran to tell the doctors, "My daughter's moving. She's moving on command." And you know what the doctor said?
Huh.
"I know you want to believe it, ma'am, but those
Ooh.
movements are involuntary.
Wait. Say that again. What did he say?
I know you want to believe it, but those movements are involuntary."
Oh, mother freaker.
So
And that's the doctor. That's the
that's a
doctor.
doctor. But how
No
many
hope.
times does that happen to all of us, where we work and work and work so hard for our efforts to be finally noticed?
Dude, and
And
this is happening in real time. By the way, as this is happening, your mom's calling the office. We're hearing everything that's happening, all that stuff, and the doctors are literally giving up on you, saying that you're not going to walk. We remember this like in real time. This is happening. Brisa's family, by the way. So we're hearing all this. She's not going to talk again. Tears are balling up at the office. She's not going to walk again. She's not going to talk again. This is a freaking rock star that we're sending all over the country. She's a great speaker, a great presenter. She does all these things, and to hear them say like she's not going to walk again, and it's crazy. But you use the techniques that you talked about in the beginning, the visualizing, the believing it before it even happens. It's thank God you did that, because I think a lot of people in that position, I probably would have done. I would have been doing the down on myself, like, oh, dude, I guess I'm not going to walk again. I'm
And a
just
lot
going to
of
figure
people
my eye.
do. They will
Yeah,
go into the whole woe is me, and like, why did this have to happen to me? And, you know, why me? Why now? Why this? I mean, that's natural. That's human to go through that.
that's the
But
first place you go, right? When
right.
something bad happens. Yeah.
But when you want to be extraordinary in anything, if you want extraordinary things to happen, you can't think of the what if scenarios. You can't think of the like, it will probably be the negative. You have to think of the probably be the positive. You have to think of it as it's not even probably, it will be, because you are increasing your odds, your chances of success with whatever it is that you're doing in life. What whether it's winning a nail competition, whether it's moving to New
Yeah.
York, whether it's surviving a catastrophic, you know, odds, whatever it is, you have to look like, you look at the future as if, what is it that you want? Think of
Hmm.
that. What do you want? And then go after that. Don't think of all the roadblocks that it's going to take for you to get there, because trust me, I had a big roadblock. So
Dude, I was
the
gonna say that. Like, yeah, that was a big
yeah,
roadblock. That was a
the
big one.
stroke, basically they explained it to my mom. The stroke that I had, it cut off all communication to the rest of my body. So talk about a
Oh,
roadblock. Everything that was in my head in my brain was staying in my brain, but I couldn't communicate to the rest of my body to move.
Jesus.
I was a vegetable lying in a bed, unable to move either side of my body, unable to breathe on my own, eat on my own. I was trached. So the machines were breathing for me. But
Jesus.
even through all of that, I still never doubted myself. I still
Wow.
never doubted that I was going to be okay. I just was like, yeah, this sucks, but I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. So I like always knew that it was going to be okay. I was going to be okay. Was it scary? Absolutely. It was scary. It was hard. It was the hardest challenge that I've ever had to deal with in my life. But I wouldn't trade any of it. I wouldn't trade any of it because now I know that literally, if you believe in yourself that much, the power of belief is limitless.
Jesus. That's the
And
name of the book. Limitless.
yep.
Small moves to your greatest life after paralyzing stroke. Holy moly. Where do you think that comes from? By the way, H-Town, was it H-Town Love? She was talking about the same kind of challenge with her 7-year-old diagnosed with leukemia. In her head, she was like, she went to that place where it's like, oh, well, he's not going to live that long. Sounds like she survived H-Town Love. Put it in the chat if I'm right. But she kind of went to the same thing. Her daughter survives leukemia. All these huge challenges. We're talking with Brisa Alfaro today about challenges, about the belief, and using those beliefs and visualizing what you want and those goals as if they are already. I think that's the key with Brisa's teaching us today, and little steps, because I think everything in life is little steps, right? When you play golf, it's a hit to this spot and then another spot, and then you get the goal, right?
But we get caught up in the whole, like, we need that instant gratification. We need that instant results. We need that. And we get caught up in that. And so because we see that mountain too high, that success too big, that challenge too hard, we don't even try because it just looks too difficult. So we don't even try. Or we get people giving us feedback, telling us that it's not possible, that it's not good enough. And then we just shrink and we stop trying. So that day when I heard the doctors tell my mom that, that it wasn't, that what she's seeing, my progress was actually involuntary movement, I was crushed because I was like, how can all my efforts?
Yes, that was a huge move for you at that moment. Just the pinky move was huge.
Was huge. How can all of that effort just be completely disregarded? But that happens to all of us in life. We work and work and work so hard for efforts to finally be noticed, and then they're just disregarded. So what do we do at that point? Do we give up? Do we keep trying? Like, what do we do? So I chose to keep trying. And I tried to show my family a sign again that I was still in my body. And finally, my mother, she brought in the doctors. She didn't stop it. No, she's a stubborn Mexican mom. She got them around my bed. So they were all standing around my bed. But now I felt like I was so tired now. And now they're asking me to do this again. And I'm going to have to gather all of this energy inside of me to show my doctors and my family a sign that I was still in my body.
So your mom goes, oh, she's going to do it again. And she grabs all the doctors in the house, puts them in front of your bed, and they're like, do it. She told you to do it again.
It's kind of like you guys watching the Super Bowl. You go all season long and you watch your team play and do the best things and do great. And then they choke when it really matters. Right. They choke on the Super Bowl. You're like, no. And then halftime comes and they regather their thoughts and they get back in the game and then they win the game. And that's what I did.
So you pulled the pinky move out.
It took me a while to make that connection, but finally I moved my pinky again.
Yes.
And now the doctor saw it, the nurses saw it, my mom saw it, my family saw it, everybody saw it, nurses, everybody. Hope was restored with a tiny pinky move. See, some of us,
restored.
some of us want to like climb that mountain. We want that success. We want the business, the beautiful business. We want the 200 people following our podcast. We want all
Boom.
things. But we have to do the little pinky moves to get us
Yeah.
there.
My little pinky moves are all the people in the chat right now. Love it. Love it. H-Town Love. There you go. Her daughter turned 15. So there's hope right there. She believed, and her daughter's healed and in recovery. Her daughter's 15 now. It's freaking incredible.
Mm-hmm.
That's freaking awesome. And Brisa, same way. We're now in 2023, celebrating isn't this like almost 10 years since the event? Right?
It is 9 years.
9 years. Holy moly.
It'll be 9 years in March.
Holy moly. And I remember, because I remember it in real time, like them again saying she wasn't going to walk, saying she wasn't going to talk. And then I remember the day when you walked in the office and I was like, wow, that's freaking crazy. Like, dude, I was like crazy because you walked in with your family.
Walking with a cane at that time. So I went from never telling me that I'll never walk again to being in a wheelchair, sitting up in a wheelchair, telling my doctor, like, when am I going to walk? When am I going to walk? And he's like, if you never walk and this is what you're doing, this is amazing. You weren't even supposed to be doing this. But I was like, no, I want more. I want to walk. Damn. And then when I ended up in a walker, I was walking with a walker. I was like, that's amazing, but I want to walk unassisted. And he would say, you don't understand. What you're doing right now is incredible. You shouldn't even be doing this.
There's probably not a lot of people that even got to that point with your particular situation.
Well, there's a lot of people that don't make it to a lot of expected results with their particular situations. But why can't I be different? Right? Why can't I be different?
Damn. Just believing that is incredible to me. Damn.
So I just kept saying, no, I want more. I'm going to get more. I'm going to get more. And I finally walked back into the hospital or to my doctor's appointment. I didn't even need to make my doctor's appointment, but I walked in unassisted and I was like, I'm doing what you said I couldn't do. So when I went to go to Young Nails to visit you guys, I made it a point. I did not want to have assistants walking in to your office.
You were supposed to, though. You were supposed to have a walker when you came in.
Yeah.
Dude, that is, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, the cojones of Miss Brisa, the freaking ganas, what she calls it in the book, Limitless. If you don't have this book, make sure you buy this book. She's surpassed every freaking stumbling block that professors, that doctors, that professionals put in her way, that said she couldn't walk again, that said that she wasn't going to speak again, that said that she could even if she did walk, which she finally did, that she would need to have assistance, a walker, a wheelchair, maybe. She's gone past that. She now is a speaker all across the country. Just got back from Austin speaking at a crazy event. She's done a lot of incredible. You've done a lot of incredible speaking engagements since this past 9 years. But the one you just did, I can't wait till that comes out on YouTube. It's going to be crazy. You specifically, you're talking to victims, bringing awareness to this thing, which is very rare, 5 people a year. So it's amazing that you're doing that.
Yeah, it's been incredible. And it's pretty amazing to see how my story is not just for stroke survivors or for locked-in syndrome survivors. It's for survivors of life, because all of us have journeyed to a place where we have felt locked in, where we felt like it doesn't get any better than this. I don't know, maybe this is as good as it gets for me. And I can't move forward because of XYZ. Like, we've all come to this roadblock in our life. Well, what 100%. Do we do? What do we do at that point? How do we move forward? How do we move past it? So I've come to the realization that my story is not just for stroke survivors. It's for people that feel locked in life. That just is what exactly just happened with us in the past hour that we've been talking. Is like, I thought it was going to be just about like
how to survive a stroke. This isn't about just how to survive a stroke. This is how, like you said, this is how to survive life and all the challenges that come through life. Everybody's been, like you said, people have doubts. I've had doubts. People in the chat have had doubts. People in the world have doubts. But you think of them in a different way. It's super powerful the way you think about things. You don't really, like, you shift right into, like, I'm always like, because I'm a OCD guy, I'm like, what if this happens? What is this happen? What is it? I'm like very detailed, but you're like, you shift right into, well, no, let's figure this out.
Mhm.
But where do you think that comes from? Like going back, have you ever thought about where do you think that comes from?
So I've always excelled when I realize, like, someone else is putting limitations on me, and I realize that that's up for me and God to make those limitations. Like, I don't want to stay in that box, in that bubble. And I realized, I remember as a little girl, I don't remember how old I was, but I remember a commercial of a study done with a bunch of fleas in a jar. And they put a bunch of fleas in the jar and they closed the jar. And all these fleas were jumping up to the top of the jar. And they would hit the top of the jar because it was closed. Right. They would hit the top of the jar and they will come back down, hit the top, come back down. So they did a study where now they open the top of the jar and now they can jump as high as they wanted to. But they stopped jumping that high and they only jumped as high as they remember where the
blocker was. Yeah, limitation. Yeah.
That lid. They just jumped that high. And now there is no lid. They can jump higher, but they don't do it because they don't think they can.
They do that with, like, elephants too, right? They put them on a little chain and then eventually they don't need the chain anymore. It's a giant animal.
Right. So it only takes one flea to jump a little higher. And then the rest of them start realizing they can do it too. So I realized I don't want to be the rest of them. I want to be the flea that jumps a little higher. And I want to do that with everything in my life. I'm going to challenge myself with everything in my life. So whenever I feel self-doubt, disbelief, like, all of us have it, but it's up to us to either listen to it and stay stagnant or allow it to come into our life and then just press pause on it and say, okay, I see you limiting belief and self-doubt, but I'm going to pause on you for a little bit and I'm just going to play on what I want to see in my life. And I'm going to play on that. And it might not be, a real good record, but I'm going to try. I'm going to play it. The only way I'll know if I don't like it is if I play it. So that's what I've been doing in my whole life.
Jesus.
It's working out for me.
Damn, I would say so. You're walking, you're talking, you're speaking, you're helping other people, and you're, I mean, a top speaker nowadays in the realm of this. Crazy, my girl. Oh my goodness, crazy. I don't even know what to say. Holy moly. My gosh, if I hope, what I do know what to say. I hope that if you have been listening, that you have really been listening to the lessons that Brisa just gave us. I hope that tell your friends to watch the VOD, because this has been incredible. My friend Brisa Alfaro, the book is called Limitless. You can get it on Amazon. Limitless by Brisa Alfaro, BRISAALFARO. Limitless, small moves to your greatest life after a paralyzing stroke. She survived it. She does it and does it well. Holy moly. My friend, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to do something crazy here for my guests that are in the chat. We're going to raid Melissa and Eric's channel. So I'm going to push everybody that's in our channel right now in our show into their show. Cool. So hang tight and I'll be right back. Okay. Thank you, 707. Thank you guys for listening. Let's go and raid the MJ and Eric, the vibe with MJ and Eric. Let's go and raid them in a few minutes. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the bits. As always, we will see you 9 o'clock every Saturday-ish on the Raise Plays Podcast Network. Here we go. Let's raid.